All right, what's going on, party people? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. I know y'all got to come on in here for a second, so I need to hop off real quick and I need to grab two or three things. I just got back home from the graduation. There's a notifications going out I can hear. So let me hop over and grab my things that I was looking for. I meant to grab sooner. All right. Woo! And actually, okay, here it is. It was already over here. Okay. Got to get the phones. What's going on, Shannon? Yeah. Yep. All right. So, gotta get my setup straight here so I can make sure I'm keeping track of everything that's going on. All right. Boom. That's perfect. All right. Thank y'all for being patient with me while I do all of this. Because I still be getting those notifications for work, so I still got to keep track of all of that and everything. Okay. So, and then one last thing I need to do here is I always pull it up on my big screen so I can see the comments even quicker and everything and keep track of all of that over here. So, all right. So, oh man, letting folk get up in here. So we got my man Nelson and doing great. I'm doing real great. And Shannon. Great to see you here today. And I got my lady Shantae. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the party. All right. Yeah. We got Glamour. Oh man, y'all know I be messing them names up. But thanks. We got Keisha up in here. Keisha, look, once Keisha get rolling, she gonna be doing great. She's gonna be doing great. Yeah, what it do, man? Look, look, y'all gotta. This is amazing day. Today is the first time in probably 8 years or so that I got more sleep than my wife. She normally is the one that goes to bed, but she was getting everything together for the graduation today. Y'all saw the videos. Thank y'all for liking those and sharing those. Please hit the like button on those. And I got to go back later and put in Khadijah's Instagram information. So those of y'all who are in our area that may want to get your locks done or anything else, and she's real good with the facials, the waxing. Yeah, I let her wax me. She waxed the hair off my back. I got a little mini afro back there. So she did that. She did my nails, my toes. So she did real good with all of that. But I'll put that information in there for y'all to check out a little bit later. But yeah, the wife, she was up late getting things done. She slept downstairs on the couch behind me because she was cooking. What's going on, Samantha? And she I love that new logo. I love that. That is nice. That's nice. That's slick. I like that. That fits you. And thanks to my man Q for doing my logo. I've been so busy and tired, I forgot Q did a logo for me. He was like, Griff, I did a logo for you, man. What's up with you? I'm like, you know what? You're right, man. And me and him sat there and talked about it. He did a great logo. Got to adjust my camera a little bit here. There we go. He did a great logo for me for my business for the Griffin Notary side, and I messed around and forgot that he did it. And the wife was looking at me like, Q did that for you. I was like, oh, my bad. I've been so busy with everything else. So appreciate Q for doing that. I gotta roll that one out and everything. So and all of that. But yeah, so the graduation was a success, as y'all saw with the video. Her family came out to see her, and Khadijah already has a college degree, I think a bachelor's degree, and various other certifications and stuff. So she yeah. So Samantha, you crack me up, lady. Yeah. You know what? That was the first time I ever got a waxing. And all I can do is commend you, ladies, for wherever you get waxed, wherever, whyever, however. That ain't no joke. And I see those videos of guys getting stuff waxed up. I'm telling you, fellas, do not do it. The chest, all of that. I'm telling you now, that was just a strong, that was a strong part of the back up. The rest of all of this, I might be able to deal with the belly. But that, arms, don't do it. Just leave it alone, fellas. Leave it alone. Get your 000 razor, some daggone Barbasol shaving cream, and do it that way. But I would not mess with that daggone that waxing again. That that ain't no joke. But good to see you there, Mary. She out there in Tennessee. But yeah, the graduation went off well. It was a very big deal. My wife, very technical, as you saw in the first video. She was like, no, this is my fourth person graduating. But I was referring to her first full cosmetology student who went through and did the whole 1,500 hours. So that was a very big deal. And as y'all heard, Khadijah, I know she was talking a little low. I should have had my other mic. But yeah, she was going through some things, and $13,000 for the program. The price is $15,000 now, but $13,000. She put $3,000 down, paid $500 a month, and got it all paid off. And every hour done, everything. So, I gotta say kudos to Khadijah because she did great. She hung in there, and there's other people who may not have been able to hang in there, but she did. So I'm very, very proud of Khadijah. My wife stuck in there. She has another student that's doing it part-time because that lady is actually working on a master's degree at the same time doing cosmetology. So for you notaries out here talking, I don't know if I can do this business. Folk are doing what they got to do. Khadijah running her business. She has her actual business, LLC, doing hair and doing school. And now she can put all her time into that. So I'm very, very, very happy for her, for both of them, my wife and everything. And, this is a testament for family. As family, we got to get in there. And I'll be honest with you. And what I'm about to say is no shade thrown at men. This isn't no toxic male thing. But as men in our community, in the Black community, we gotta help step up and help our wives. Okay. And even though y'all say, well, I speak to a lot of ladies and stuff in this business, but whatever I do for them, my wife gets 20 times 1,000 more. I do more for her than I do for any other woman on this planet. I get in there, help her out. She normally would cook certain things last night. I cooked it for her. And I've watched her over the years to see how she normally cooks stuff. And I went and got it all seasoned up just like she did. So when she came home, she didn't have a whole lot to do. And she didn't get home till about 3 a.m. But we got the Ring camera. So I'm watching on the Ring I'm only 7 minutes away from the, we're only 7 minutes away. And I was just, looking, making sure she's safe, making sure nobody's out there. And we're in a fairly safe area, I think really safe. But, that's what we do. And my philosophy is a lot of men, I don't go to bed until everybody's home. Thank you. So I just said, it's better to help the one you love than to hurt the one you love. And that's what it's all about. So for many people, they're struggling in this business because they're not getting the support from their spouse. And then there was times where you should have supported your spouse way back yonder, and now you doing this notary business or whatever else, and they're like, they ain't all down with you because of the seeds that you planted back yonder. Now, so that's why me and her are able to support each other in our respective businesses, because way back when we showed support for each other. I support her and her, she support me and mine, and we're able to move forward. And that's the beauty of this. This is how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be all this contention. Like people think that a son and a daughter, a brother and a sister, supposed to be at each other all the time, or siblings. It really shouldn't be that way. We're supposed to be family, and it shouldn't take somebody attacking my brother or my sister before I go head on and start defending them. You should defend them, period. Now I'm the only child, so I never had that, but I used to see it a lot where it was like the oldest was just always at the youngest, or vice versa, or the middle kid was always cutting up, just starting stuff. And then the parents thought that was normal. And I never thought that was normal for family to be going at each other like that, So enough of that. But y'all get what I'm saying. The bottom line is, fellas, if you see you need to step in and help, put forth every effort to help. You don't always have to be asked to come in to help. Even though I know for a lot of people, that's the mindset now. It's like a lot of ladies, well, if I don't ask you to help me, don't help me. It's not about you having to ask me. It's about, do you see a need? Do you see something that needs to get done? And if you do, you go in there and help, especially if your intents are right, but that's a whole nother story, and the reason why I say that, and that's a little pet peeve of mine. And just to give y'all a quick story, years ago when I was working up in Maryland, Bethesda, Maryland, for one of the government agencies, and just my normal character is, if I'm on the elevator or if I'm at the elevator getting ready to get on, I will hold the door open for the lady and let her in first. Or if I'm in there already, I will open the door, let her in. Or let's just say the elevator's crowded, I will step out and let her take my place. That's just me. And what I learned was that, and this may not be true for everybody, but at that point in time, at least in that area, the Bethesda, Maryland area, a lot of the women that were like 35, 40 and above appreciated me doing that. But the women who were younger than me, or probably my age, because back then probably close to my age, or like 30 and 20s, I had several of them was get mad at me for showing some chivalry, and was literally fussing at me like, I don't need you to do that for me. Did I ask you to hold the elevator for me? And I was like, okay, what's going on here? You don't have to ask me to do something nice for you. I should do that automatically, So I just don't understand. And then when, and it shouldn't take a tragedy, people dying, people getting abused, before somebody said, oh yeah, you can help me now. That should not be the standard. If somebody is willing to help you and you trust that they're not going to be doing nothing creepy, cool. But this idea of, well, if I didn't ask you to help me, don't help me, So I'm sitting here watching you struggle, and it bugs me. I can't just watch a lady struggle and not at least offer. I mean, another story. Then we'll get to the point about the title of the thing about the not getting paid. I had some cases of paper in my car for about almost a week. And I said, I got to take these over to the storage unit. So I finally got the time, went over there, took the paper to the storage, and there was nobody there. It was just me. Nobody there. I go in, come out, and there's this young lady, probably 5 feet tall, and she's trying to move dresser drawers, bedroom sets, and stuff and put them in the storage. And I said, at least let me ask. And here's the reason why, because I don't know when I'm going to ever see somebody again to do a notary. And their first impression of me is, you ain't even asked. So I asked, I said, excuse me, you need help with anything? And she was like, and at first I think she was going to say no, but then she said, well, since you like, well, since you asked, yeah, if you don't mind. And I spent the next couple of hours helping her. Then me and my son, after I picked him up from work, helped her get all of her stuff moved out. I think her fiance was working, and other people in her life, other men, they said they were going to help, but they didn't step in and help. I'm there. I have the time. I can do this. Let me make it happen. Let me make it happen. And my time was a little tight because I had a meeting with Renee Dentman for the Sustainable Notary Conference that was coming up. And it was a meeting that I had to get on Zoom with her, but I just could not let this young lady sit there and struggle. 5 foot tall young lady, probably under 5 feet, trying to move a dresser and all of that off a U-Haul onto a dolly. And I wasn't going to let that happen. So I helped her out, got it done. This is the kind of stuff that we supposed to be doing for each other. And it opens up the universe, the spiritual part of it, to funnel back to you as a person put up here good vibes. Okay. And for a lot of people, the reason why sometimes things aren't going great for you is because you aren't doing great things for others. And for those who you think are really getting blessed because it's like they're just pop, 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 are they doing it because they're taking advantage of people? Because folk who take advantage of folks seem to be on top of the world. But folk who are trying to do it right, they don't get all the views, they don't get all the clicks, they don't get all the likes, but they're doing impactful stuff. And that's what matters. And to me, that's what being a notary is all about, is being impactful by understanding your state laws and doing things correctly so that the person who walks away from you after getting something notarized can know that it was done right. Did you get $150 for that power of attorney that you just did? Probably not. But it's okay. Don't feel bad that you didn't get $150, but feel good that you did what you're supposed to do and you did it in accordance with your state law. Because the rest of the money that you didn't get is going to come. And that's what I've seen in my business. That's what I've seen in my life. And it's true. It's just true, which carries over into when you're moving from one avenue of business into another, such as being a signing company. And now you got to pay people. And that's what we're talking about today. And let's see if we can get some people up here who may want to ask questions. And I will be really keeping an eye, because all of these little YouTube spammer folk be sneaking up in here. So when you come on, I need your camera on so I can see who you are and everything. And if I don't recognize you, I'm bouncing you. Okay. Because I ain't got time for no creepy stuff coming up in my thing and all of that. stuff. So I just posted the link for you to join if you got questions about you not getting paid or how to deal with it, and I will share with y'all some of the things that I've done and what I well, I can't even say what I'm doing now because right now everybody's paying me, but how to address it or deal with it. Um, and then some of the mindset and what's going on. What would cause somebody not to even pay you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as Shantae says here, she's reaping the benefits of a giving heart right now. I'm telling y'all, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. What's going on, Terry? And so, hmm, oh, Amazon. So, um, what I'm trying to, yeah, that's just Amazon folk. Oh, I know, no, I know what that is. I know what that. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. That's something else I need. Oh, oh, I'm not gonna lose my train of thought, y'all. There was something that I had got today. Well, I had ordered it last week for the graduation, and the company they jacked it up. They didn't get me the stuff on time, and I had to have a conversation with them about that. And I was really, really upset that happened. You know, so I had ordered some stuff for Khadijah graduation, something real, real nice. I hope I got all the stuff because it was supposed to be in here yesterday, and I'm just not getting it today. So hopefully this might be everything. Um, yeah. So one of the things that we have to sorry about this, y'all. Okay. Gotta cut through all of this stuff. Yeah, they were supposed to have got me this stuff yesterday. All right. Yeah, what I did for Khadijah, I had got her some larger graduation pictures. And they were supposed to have been here today because I was going to get them mounted for her. And as you see, the graduation is over, and they just now getting the pictures to me. And company called National Photo Lab. The work itself is great. I mean, they did a great job on the pictures. And back in the day, I used to use them as my main developer. So I've done work with them before, but this is before things went all digital and everything. So sorry about this, y'all, but I just had to want to yeah. Yeah, they did a good job. I had got different sizes and everything for her. And so I'm gonna have to get these to her later. But yeah, so I had my plan was to have these pictures posted everywhere for her and everything and give this to her as a gift, a more formalized gift. And they messed that up. They messed that up. So all right. So Y'all know how we do. I'm real informal. So back to the topic at hand. All right. So the question is, and don't know if anybody wanted to hop on here and ask any questions about the topic. So the issue at hand is you're a notary and you're not getting paid. Now, there are people out there who will say the reason why you're not getting paid is because you're not working direct. You're working with signing companies, and that's why you're not getting paid. Okay. That's not necessarily the case. The case is just you're working with a company that may not have their financial ability or their ability to manage things financially together. If you understand how the money flows, the money starts at the top and it flows down to us. We're the last peg, the last leg that gets paid. So we're the last leg. So the money starts with the lender getting paid, the title escrow settlement get paid, then the signing company gets paid, then we get paid. If there's a hiccup from the signing company on up, that can throw everything off. If funding wasn't done right, if the notary didn't do stuff for us, recording, didn't do things right so it could get recorded correctly, all of that can mess up you getting paid. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you say everything went well. Hey, what's going on, Bruce? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Good to see you there, big man. If everything is working well, then that means what? Hold on. I got too much going on here. I know people. So if everything is working well, that means the signing company should pay you at their designated time. Could be 30 days, could be 15 days after you've done it, could be twice a month, could be once a month, could be 45 days. It all depends on their business model. But when you get to a point where you're not getting anything, you're not getting paid at all, that becomes a problem. So what's going on? Why can't they pay you? Why won't they pay you? Did you submit the invoice if they ask for it? Just like I got to do I got to do 2 invoices. If you're going through SnapDocs, what happened? If you're working directly with somebody, what happened? You didn't get, if they're not in SnapDocs but on signing order, and you never get the notification that there's a check for you through the deluxe e-check system, what's going on? And it can be a variety of things. Let's see here. Says, I pay attention. I pay the notaries for the title company I work for. Right. That's the other aspect. If you're the person that's cuts the check, they can say, hold up, not today, wait till Monday. And case in point, there are times where I get checks 9:00 at night. They make sure you get it 9:00 at night on a Friday, so you can't deposit it until Monday. It's going to be interesting to see how many checks come through the mail today, and I won't be able to put them in, deposit them until next week. What's going on, Ben Bridge? What's going on, my man? That's something that happens. And when I see that 9, 10 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, the check's coming through on so it's Saturday morning and now here's the check. They got to wait for things to clear. So sometimes if they haven't got paid, they can't pay you. That's what you got to understand. If they didn't get paid, then they can't pay you. But let's say they did get paid, depending on how they run their money, could determine when and how you get paid. And if they've overspent, or Sunday, you're right. Yep. Good afternoon there, Michelle J. There are people, I've gotten checks on Sundays and things of that nature. How do you stop it? You can't make them pay you when you want. You can send them all the invoices you want, but if they don't have the money, they ain't gonna pay you. You get what I'm saying? So how that person, that individual business owner manages their money. So let's just say they weren't that great at managing their money as a signing agent. So as a signing agent, they weren't great at managing their money. They was very, very sloppy. Just being straight with you, they were very, very sloppy. Yeah. And sometimes you have to deal with it. There's nothing you can do to make it change. So if they're sloppy as a notary, they don't keep track of their funds and finances when it's just them, what makes you think they're going to automatically switch over to keeping track of it when they become a signing company? Now, again, you don't know all of these things, but I'm telling you, this is what's going on. So unless they have an accountant that they're paying to handle all of that, to say, okay, these are the bills that came in, this is the money that came in, let's pay everything. If you don't have an accountant managing that for you, or you have given yourself veto permission over the accountant, that if they go to say, okay, we can pay these bills, and you just don't do it because nah, because I really want to go on this vacation. And there are notary and there's signing companies that I've heard that will do that. And let me know this is crunching too much in the microphone. All of these are factors. Mm, mm. So you got companies that'll send you a check so they can say they sent you a check and then it bounces. I have not had a check bounce. I've gotten not paid, but I have not had a check bounce. And matter of fact, I got to go do some reconciling to check on a few bill on a few in checks to see if I got paid from them, from those folk. I got to go check on that. But that can happen. So I know I'm sounding like I'm a little all over the place. I got a little too much going on in front of me and all of that. So let me turn some of this stuff off so I can focus on y'all. All right. So Shannon says, as long as the check clears, that's all that matters to me. I've had a popular signing company bounce this year. Yeah. So one of the things that has happened with the bounce checks, some of the people have their systems have been hacked. And what you don't realize, if you're using a weak password on your account, that can open their system up to be backdoored. You know what I'm saying? It can be backdoored if you got a weak password on your account. Now, I've had one person be real slow in paying me, and that company is no longer in business. But from what I've learned, their whole point was just really just to make this money so they didn't have to go out and do closings. That's the way I took it. And that's another issue, is that you got somebody starting a signing company, not so they can really help notaries out, but so they can make sure they're making money without having to go do the closings themselves. And those are dangerous people to work with. I know signing companies watch, and if you don't fit in that category, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you really think about it, that is a dangerous person to work with, because if they're only doing this because they feel they they can make money, and if all of a sudden things change and they're not making as much money as they would like, then they can really bail on you. It's like, okay, I ain't paying nobody, I'm out and stuff. So one of the ways, well, to me, the most effective way to deal with this is when you're communicating with them, is to not just do it over phone. You need to do it through email so you can have a paper trail, because they should be keeping records of all of the emails that's come through. Voicemail come through, they can delete that, and all this just show is on your phone record that you called, but not necessarily it doesn't know what you said in your call, especially if they deleted the voicemail. And unfortunately, the telephone system in this world has not evolved to the point of you being able to get a copy of the voicemail that you left. Like you in a chat room with somebody about something for his technical support, you can type and y'all going back and forth, and then all of a sudden at the end of the thing, it say, "Do you want a copy of this transcript?" You can say yes, email it to me at this location, and you can do that. That's what I did today after talking to him about why my pictures were late. But you don't have that on a regular cell phone. So the number one way to keep track of stuff is to communicate through text, because you can screenshot that, and the cell phone companies keep a record of every single text you sent, and through email or through the comment section in the portal. You put that up there and you have record of that, and you can screenshot it. When I'm dealing with the companies and there's a controversial issue, I'm screenshotting what they sent me and what I sent them. It's that simple. I am trying to understand. Yeah. Now that's a problem there. Companies will say net 30, and normally net 30 just basically means 30 days later. Hold on. Yeah, net 30 is typically like with Amazon, 30 days after I buy something, I got to pay it off, not 30 business days. And that's the trick that some people will use. And this has nothing to do with notary. This is just straight across that. Right. I'm looking at it right here. Let me share this with y'all. So this is saying straight up this net 30 account, and it says net 30 accounts are accounts that extend you 30 days to pay the bill in full after you purchased it, not 30 business days. And that's the thing, because even if they come back and say 30 business days, that's not net 30. That is not net 30. Net 30 is within 30 days you pay the bill. That's what I have with Amazon. 30 days later, your house payment, your car payment, all of those are net 30. You're making a payment to them every single 30 days. That's net 30. And the company would then say, "Oh, well, no, we meant net 30 business days." No, I never heard of that. No, you should have put that in your thing up front. But now, because you couldn't pay, you want to try to push it out and say, "Oh, well, that doesn't count Saturday and Sunday." In my book, it does. In my book, it does. And stuff. So, yeah, hop on up here, y'all. Hop on up here. I know y'all got questions about this. Look, it is what it is. I know you're like, "Well, I don't want nobody to hear what I said." I look. Signing companies, title companies, y'all hear me talking about this. And I'm trying to do it from a standpoint of helping notaries to manage their expectations. Okay. Now, the good companies out there, the ones who are more established, and I know that's going to be taken the wrong way, me saying the good companies. Well, I mean, you're paying somebody. If a notary's not doing what they want, you say the good notaries, and you would exclude, okay, these people not doing good. Here's the thing. If you're not going to start your notary career right financially, it's going to make it hard for you to expand into other businesses. You don't just automatically learn how to pay people on time if you didn't manage your own money on time. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind the net 30 business days model. Right. If it's stated in their terms, then that's what it needs to be. But a lot of times it's not stated in the terms. They just say net 30, net 45. I think there's somebody, I got a text message about somebody talking about net 90. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you we're going to pay you in 90 days. Well, that tells me that if you was paying me before in 30 days and now you pushing it out to 90, you got some financial issues going on. You're struggling to find clients. You're struggling to keep up with their, let's say they might have dropped their pay on the signing company. And now you're struggling financially to make ends meet. And you need 90 days to get all of this stuff together. And that's where you may be putting yourself in the rob Peter to pay Paul, because you're sitting here like, well, I'm gonna just pay y'all in 90 days. And then let's just say you forget to pay the people, or some other expenses come up. That can put you in a real bad bind, and that's almost like a Ponzi scheme what Bernie Madoff and them was doing. Okay, we got this money coming in, we're gonna do dot. And then it's like, oh, we need to give them that money back. Well, we got to get some other people to give us money, so then we can give that money back to them. But if you need to give back $50 million, you're trying to get somebody to give you 75, but then you're still going to owe them 50. So you're constantly always behind. And that's what you don't want to be in as a business owner and as a signing company owner. So the first thing that I do is I reach out to them via email, text message if need be. I will call and reference the fact that I emailed you. And I keep my verbiage with them consistent. I don't waver. I don't flutter with this. I keep it consistent. Does anyone take net? You probably meant to say charge more. You can charge more, but it's still ain't gonna get to you for 90 days. And they got to be, you're saying, well, I'm gonna charge you more because you're making me wait longer. I'm sure the mortgage people would prefer the payment early. Credit card company, you only get paid when it's past, paid more when it's past their stated date. But then again, that goes into the service contract, the terms of service. It has to be stated there. So to charge them extra because they want to pay you in 90 days, from a legal standpoint, that may not be able to uphold, because they say, well, you're a free will worker. You could have worked. You didn't have to work for them. You chose to. So you got to deal with the way they do things. Are some people getting away with it? Yeah, they are. For as charging more because it's 90, yes, but that might not be the norm. Yes or no, yes or don't pay you at all. If I experience any difficulty. Right. And see, yeah. So, like I said, I had that one lady. Now, here's also how I figured out that she didn't pay me. She kept saying that she paid me. Now, she was using the deluxe check system. I went there, looked in there. I did not see a payment from her at all. So what I did was I asked her for the check number. She gave me the check number. I told the deluxe people to look at it, and they said, well, yeah, she made a check to be paid to you, but she didn't hit send. But yet she was arguing me down that payment was done, but she hadn't hit send. I think she knew she didn't hit send, but she didn't think that I was going to figure it out. So I figured it out by asking questions, and then she still didn't pay me for another 3 days. So after that, I said, I ain't gonna mess with her no more. I stopped doing business with that person, and then I find out she's no longer in business. So that's how I stood my ground, but you got to keep good records of what you're doing, because if you don't, I'm telling you, it can really bite you in the butt, you know. So again, that's where physically cashing your check, depositing your check goes a long way. Instead of running to some check store and all of that, put it into your bank account, then pull the money out. And so it says, I own a small business service, signing service. Okay, that is a problem. Notaries not cashing checks because they like, well, shoot, I'm making all this money. I got money hand over fist, and then they don't cash it, and then it goes past the 90 days, and it says it on. I'm trying to see if I got a check up here that I've already deposited, but it'll say check valid for 90 days. And then you got to go through the process of reissuing it, and it might be a fee to the signing company if they have to reissue that check. So now you're dealing with that situation, and that's not good. So if you get paid, go cash the check. Find out where your local banks are and do that. So let me see. Is that Jeff or is that a troll? I don't know. That might be the troll, Jeff.
How you doing?
Doing good, man.
I just wanted to pop up. Hey, I just want to talk about that check thing. So I'm one of those notaries she's talking about that doesn't cash checks. Not that I do that on purpose, but I found a check that I found and I never cashed it. Like I found it. I'm like, okay. So it was like almost 6 months old. I contacted the company. I said, hey, can you verify this check has been cashed? Because sometimes, I do it mobily, and if you don't mark that you mobily deposit, you're guessing, you have to have all those checks and balances. I use a notary gadget. I have my check. It's endorsed, hopefully, by endorsement, I know that it's good to go or whatever. And so I contacted them. They took them about a month or so to get back to me and say, yeah, if you want it reissued, we're going to charge you $35 or something. And to reissue it, I think it was a $125 check. So I just sent it in. It was past 6 months or something. I think it says it's void after 90 days. My bank took it. So, but don't make that a habit, right? So, that was unusual. So if you're a notary and you're getting checks coming in, I would have that in your schedule to go down to the bank or however you're going to deposit those checks. Make sure it happens. Put that on as a routine thing to make sure that you don't have things slip through the cracks. Because it works both ways. We might have to wait 30 days to get the check, but if we're not sitting there cashing the checks, and then somebody on the other end is trying to figure out how much money they have in their bank account because checks aren't getting cashed, that's causing them issues too, right? So,
right. And that could be an issue. Yeah, that could be a reason why they're not able to pay you, because they don't know whether or not they truly have the money in their bank account, which goes back to how are they managing their funds? If they're managing their funds, like I would have to say, to me, if I was a signing company owner, I would have to have one account that's for, my accounts receivable, I'm getting paid from everybody, and then another account where I would deposit that money into to pay my notaries. So now, do I have the money that I need to pay the notaries? Well, I just got this installment of money from last month's work. I take all of that, stick this over here in that account. So to me, that's easy. But when you got it all in one account and you got $45,000 that needed to be coming out of there, but only 15 came out because everybody's holding checks, that will be very, very difficult for you to manage and keep track of, efficiently. So that's what I would do as a signing company owner. I would have different account. Heck, I think this is a little more complicated, but let's just do it this way also. depending on the bank account you have, can I set up little temporary accounts to pay out of? So I got a January, February, March, April. So when I get paid, I dump here's the money that's going out to the notaries for my work, the work that was done in January. And if I don't see that thing down to zero, then that means somebody didn't cash the check. If February 0, March 0, April 0, May, June, and July, I still got money sitting in that account, and it's December. Okay, what's going on here? Now, to me, from an accounting standpoint, that's a little bit easier to track down who didn't cash what. It's a little more logistically to have all of these small temporary accounts, but that will be something that I will have to look into. Excuse me. Even if I had to pay a big name bank a little extra money to have that ability, that would help me manage my money better. So that way I know I paid Jeff, and I got Jeff part of the January crew, and everybody don't cash their check except for Jeff. And then I see that in February and March. Okay, there's always this $125 just sitting there. That's Jeff again? Go give him a call and tell him to cash that daggone check. Matter of fact, what's his cash app? Just send it to a cash app.
Well, and that's probably why a lot of those companies are starting to do the electronic funds transfer. So it automatically goes to your bank. They don't have to worry about people cashing checks because it's in your bank account.
Right.
So that's another option if you're going that route. But just back to the bank account situation, I had to get a separate bank account when I started doing fingerprinting because the Department of Justice, they didn't require it, but they highly recommended it because you're collecting money for the state, So they want to get their money, and they want to make sure that you can pay their money. If they don't get money, they'll cut you off, So they highly recommend you have a separate bank account. So even if you are thinking about this in the future, you should think about us having a separate bank account for that part of your business. When you're getting money from somebody and you have to pay somebody else, it's just a pass-through account, essentially, is what you're going to do.
Yeah. So. And that's what I do. So like even for the my Griffin Notary and then Notary Success System, 2 separate LLCs, 2 separate bank accounts. Now they're with the same bank, but when I log in, I see Notary Success System, Griffin Notary. I got 2 separate bank accounts, and money that comes in for one goes there, money for the other one goes there. And then I just make sure that when I deposit checks, I let them know which way the money needs to go. And I actually will deposit the check more mobilely than face to face. That way I have to make sure that there's no issues and stuff. All right. So we got ADT Mortgage Pro. What's going on? I like that head. I might have to get that little head thing for myself. Hold on.
I gotta get my hair retwisted, so I look kind of bad. That's why I'm like, they said grip on bite. I'm like, no, I look kind of bad right now.
No, man, you smooth, man. You smooth. What's going on?
Yes, sir. So I'm sorry if the background's kind of loud. I'm outside right now. But,
no, I can hear you good.
So I've been doing like real estate for about a little bit over like 5 years. I started doing it in 2017 when I got out the military.
Gotcha.
I've been doing like some wholesale deals, some joint ventures, seller finance, things of that nature. Once COVID hit, a lot of my buyers started to like pivot, and their strategies on buying and everything, they weren't as aggressive. So my pipeline hasn't been that full. I've still been doing like a little bit of direct mail, a lot of cold calling, but it seems like they're just not buying right now. I don't know if it's, the market, inflation. So I would like to incorporate like, just some different strategies like notaries, and different avenues to get it. So I'm not just don't have anything, like it's
right.
I've been doing some deals, but it's not like it used to be, like even like a year and a half ago. So I was just wondering, like, what are some steps that I've already done, like field inspections and things of that nature. But I
Gotcha.
was wondering, like, what else could I do to, I guess, fill my notary pipeline since my real estate pipeline isn't as full as it used to be.
Okay. Well, I will say from a real if you have connections in the real estate market, like with the title companies, you should let them know that you're also available to do the real estate closing.
Hmm.
And then you just have to make sure you communicate to them that you're going to operate as a notary, not as a real estate person, not as a person who might try to steal the deal. That's why some of the companies have an issue with realtors being a notary, because back in the day, and probably still now, the notary who is a realtor will sit there and look at this deal and be like, man, you just getting screwed, and then want to start saying stuff. So either you just don't communicate that to them that you have that background,
Hmm.
or you find a way to make sure that they understand. Even if you say I'll sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, no compete clause. So as I do stuff with you, you have my word. We got it in writing that I will not cross that line. If you can
Okay.
find some people that you know, I mean, it's really, I would start off with some trusted friends who are also in the real estate industry, where, and especially as long as it's not a conflict of interest, I'll be like, yo, Frederico,
Yeah.
when you get that deal, let me be your notary. So you got a real estate group, because most of the time I know with the real estate investors, y'all have meetups and
Okay.
y'all have other groups and things that y'all work with. So if you know a builder, you know some big time guy, especially those guys who are like, yeah, I'm trying to get an
Yes.
apprentice under my wing, talk to them and say, hey, look, let me be your notary. I go in there and get the deal done for you. And that's how I would approach it. I would connect with those people and let them know that, hey, I got your back. Give me a shot at this. And those are the people that I mean, if I had
Okay.
y'all's connections, that's what I would do. Because I think Jeff, a real estate agent, correct?
That's correct. And I was going to jump in. Yeah, if you want to do real estate and notary, you can't approach, if the title company or escrow officer knows that you're a real estate agent, they will not uh, they won't help you do notary work. They will actually blacklist. Well, they blacklisted me. I don't know if they'll blacklist you, but I got blacklisted by Old Republic here locally because the manager of the branch knew that I was a real estate agent, and they kept cutting me off from deals. So you have to keep those businesses separate. So you just, when you're doing notary work, you're doing notary work. When you're doing real estate, you're doing real estate. And you just have to have that mindset. You can't mix the two. You can't go to one of your meetups and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and and then say, and by the way, I do notary work, because that will go around your circle, and then you will find that you will not, it could ruin you for both avenues. You know what I mean? So you just want to
Yeah.
keep that stuff separate.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah. But if
I'm
you can find,
trying, like, go ahead.
go ahead, man. You say you're trying.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been trying, but it's like Jeff just said. If you mention that you're like a notary, they're like, oh my God, he's gonna like steal the deal, or he's like going to like backdoor you on the deal. But I honestly just want to do, I just want to do good work, honestly. But a lot of people, I don't know if this like an abundance or like scarcity mindset, and
Right.
they're afraid you're going to steal the deal or something like that. So I guess
Well,
that's what I was
yeah,
asking, like
just
how to
remember,
approach that.
just remember that if as a notary, you're at the end of the deal. It's hard to steal the deal at the end, right? I mean, you can't. What are you going to say? Hey, don't go with that guy. Go with me. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not the same thing. But a lot of real estate agents think that you're going to steal their client or whatever. But that's just, they don't know what in the heck's going on if they
Right.
Right.
have that mindset, you know.
Right.
So, but because they have that mindset, you have to just keep it separate. Don't even go that way, But like Griff said, if you know somebody, you have buddies or whatever in the that you're networking with, and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I do notary work, I can help you out on your transaction. I think that's the best way. That's a great advice, because they know that you're not going to sit there and steal the deal from them because, you know, you've been already networking. They're going to know you're a person of integrity. You're trying to do everything right. So I don't think that you'll have a problem.
Now, one of the things this is what I would do. And Jeff, you know, tell me, how would you feel if I approached you this way? I would go to Jeff and say, hey, Jeff, you know, I'm also a real estate person. I do, you know, dibble dabble in it. And, you know, for me right now, things are slow, but I still want to make money. And, you know, I do notary, can do loan closings for you. Now, part of my deal with, if you don't have a problem having me as your notary loan closer, I have an agreement that we can sign that states that I will not backdoor you, undercut you, or try to take any of your clients. I think if you approach it already letting them know up front, that way you're mitigating their fears. You're letting them know up front, like, hey, hold on one second. Block that person. 1 second. Okay. Oh, that's been blocked. All right. Yeah, so you letting them know up front that, hey, I got your back. I know what the concerns are, and here's what I've already have in place. Have your attorney look it over. If you want to modify it or you want to have one, ... But then on the flip side, I will be like, okay, real estate agent, once you say you want me as your closer, you can't be you can't be kicking me off at the last minute. That's the other side of the house, because real estate agent like, oh, okay, well, I'm fully protected. That, okay, you ain't gonna mess me over, but I'm gonna mess you over. So it has to be an agreement. Like, once you say, hey, closing's on Tuesday at 3:00, and I done set aside that time to come to you, Jeff, you can't sit here and wait at the last minute and be like, no, I don't need you. Because then if you kick me off and then I find out that you did the closing anyway, but you just didn't want to use me, that ain't right. You know, so you have to let them know that you are aware that it can go both ways. You're trying to keep me from screwing you over. I'm trying to keep you from screwing me over. So let's work with it, y'all. And then that is going to be what they say, the dividing of the wheat and the tare. You're going to find out where these people are at. So you coming to them saying, I like to be a closer, and I sign a contract saying that I won't do this, non-disclosure, won't discuss ... I'm bound legally not to do these things here. And then they like, ooh, because see, when you go legal on people, then that's when they were like, oh, okay, you for real. Because now you done took their excuse away. You done took their excuse for saying no to you away. Once you take that excuse for them to say no, then it's just, okay, you just saying no, but you have no basis. Got it. You know what? Now I know you're probably not a person who I would want to work with.
Okay.
You see? So that's how I do. So when I've tried to go with title companies, I let them know, I say, look, I'm just here to help y'all out. I'm here to help y'all out. ... I'm not trying to steal your business. Work with the notaries that you've been working with if you need me. And if they can't handle that, then that tells me they're not a company that I will want to work with. Because if they're still thinking that I'm trying to find a way to undercut them, because that's just in their mind. To me, the person who thinks that they just believe that you're going to screw me over, no matter how good you do, all it takes is for you to do a half a step that might be questionable, and they're gonna be like, oh, see, there you go. I knew it. Right. I knew it. So if they can't look, if they don't have the confidence and the security within themselves to be able to discern and trust that this person who I'm dealing with is being upfront honest, they're coming with a no compete clause, an NDA, I basically got them by the back of the neck. I got the notary by the back of the neck. But now he's still gonna get over on me. Then you got a problem within your own character, because maybe that's what you're doing to people.
Right. Yes, sir. Because I'm in Philadelphia, so the market is, you know, it's a pretty hot market, but it's exactly what you just said. Like, it's just
I guess he's breaking up.
Yeah.
Everybody, this, you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
good, man.
originally
Thanks
from
for the
Philadelphia.
question. Yeah, you're starting to break up there.
I got to run, Griff, so
Okay,
I'm
my
going to be
man.
out too.
Okay. All right. Let me. Go back to me. All right. Yeah, his is jamming down. If you're able to hop back on, man, feel free. But here's the thing, y'all. So as you see, yeah. Oh, you got storms in Philly. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. So this is a part of business. You have with any business, you're going to have people that could be late delivering the funds to you. You got people who might not want to pay you. They want to collect a whole bunch of money from their people, but they don't want to pay the people who they owe. And that can be a huge problem. So there's no simple way to make a person pay you. If they have an agreement, a legally binding agreement that you're with, and they say that, hey, I'm going to pay you in 45 days, and they don't, you may have to clarify, like the person said, well, is it 45 business days or is it just 45 days? Excuse me, which one is it, for clarity? Because net 30, let me see here. Pay in net 30 versus 30. That's the key. I'm just trying to see something here. Yeah, so basically, if everything that I'm seeing is okay, perfect. Let me pull this up. See, this is where research comes in at, y'all. Not saying that you don't. I'm just saying in general, this is where research comes in. So what does it say right here? Let me move over to the side. So hopefully it says here, I have to zoom in a little bit more. It says net 30 is a credit term used in business to signify that full amount a client owes is payable within 30 days, including weekends, holidays, and upon good shipment or job completion. To encourage customers to pay earlier than the prescribed 30 days, some suppliers offer discounts. Due in 30 days is just that. Payment is due within 30 days. So it's pretty much similar, and I had Googled, the phrase I Googled was, paying net 30 versus 30 business days. So anybody who says, Notary, we're going to pay you in 30 days, in net 30, that's what net 30 means. That is the business definition of it. This is why you got to understand business, people. So you have folk who don't understand business. In other words, when they were a notary, they wanted to get paid in net 30. They wanted to get sooner, and then that 30th day, that's when they wanted money to be there. Boom, I want my money here. And Tina, I need you to put your camera on so I can see who you are. This person popping in. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's my student. Oh, snap Ola. Okay. So net 30, we just discovered net 30 is net 30. Net 15, net 2, net 1, whatever, includes weekend and holidays. Weekend and holidays. That's what it means. Okay. It's not 30 business days. No, they just tripping. Where you at, Tina? Just thought I saw you. All right, getting ready to bring you on. Here we go.
There you are.
Bring my lady on.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on? This here is the student from Creedmoor, North Carolina. She came all the way up from Creedmoor and did an excellent job. Y'all saw the video of her.
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
I
So
had
now
to.
you
I wanted to call in to tell you about my first seller signing.
talk to me about it. Tell the people how it went.
Yeah, because I know it's probably some other people that have did the loan signing class and they bought the books and did the training and still haven't went out there. So I called you with like an SOS
Yeah.
type thing because the title company didn't send the docs till like almost right there
Mm-hmm.
at the signing. I kept messaging the signing company and they were like, no docs yet, no docs yet. And I felt anxiety setting in. I really didn't have a chance to review the docs. So when I pulled a couple of them off of the printer, that's when I saw Maryland. And lucky enough, in some of the training material, you had sellers packet where it was a house being sold in another state, even though you're in Virginia.
Right.
I don't know what it was. The training environment was different, but for some reason I panicked. So they relocated here in North Carolina, but yet they were selling a property in Maryland. So there was a lot of Maryland docs. So after I talked to you and you're like, how would it be any different? So I was like, okay, you're right, all right. So I had to I, I don't understand how it would be any different than so I was like,
And what
okay,
we
you're
did in the
right.
training. Yeah, what we did in the training, what was it
Yes,
different?
why would it be
You
any different?
different.
And I was like, yeah, I guess I didn't think of it that way. So I had to, do everything we talked about in training. One line, replace state of Maryland with state of North Carolina,
Initial.
change the county to Durham. I had to do all that.
And initial your
Um,
line out.
yep, everything. So then I had to pack up the docs, and since they sent it so close, and then they sent the closing disclosure. They sent everything like separate. So I had to wait on all that. So I ended up being late. And I called the seller. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. They were really understanding because it was, co-sellers, husband and wife. And they were the type of people. I think you had talked to us about this. You're going in someone else's home, in a lot of training. You're talking about take command of the signing. You might not always be able to do that. You are in someone else's houses. These people were meticulous. I read through everything. And then not only did they read through everything, they called their realtor in Maryland on before they signed anything. And it's not a lot you can do about that. You can't be like, hey, hurry up. They have the right to read through it. And then they had 2 kids under the age of 2. So with reading through everything, their kids. So, you're not, I wasn't used to that, but I remembered something that we talked about. And then I had the signing company calling, hey, is the signing done yet? Is it done yet? So it was it was it was a lot, but now that I've gotten my first signing out the way, to anyone who is still apprehensive, I got some terrific training Sunday, and it totally prepared me for what happened yesterday.
And you was able to come up with, and I'm pretty sure on the fly, you was making little adjustments to what was being thrown at you. So you had your idea of what you wanted to do,
Yes.
but as things started changing, you was able to adjust. But the one constant was the notarization, because you knew you had to do it because that's your baby. That's what you controlled. And that's what we taught her was, I'm gonna make sure that no matter what's going on above, from their signature line up. I don't care what any of that's going on. Call your real estate agent, call your mama, call whoever. But after you do that and you sign, do I need to notarize this document? It's either yes or no. And when I do that, I got that bad boy together. So even if it did, they wanted to read stuff, analyze it.
Everything. And I think they're tech people.
Yep.
So everything, when we talked about in training, you present them with the closing document and that difference between the buyer and then what's coming to the seller. So I was like, does this number, you hand it to them, does this number look correct? Oh yeah, that's fine. That's just what the realtor discussed. Okay, then we can proceed, with the rest of it. They read through everything, and I was like, these are not people that you're just going to be able to
bully, to be honest.
And so here's the document. You read the title, because we can't go into detail here in North Carolina. So you read the title of the document, but no, they looked at it. Then she said, honey, here you go. Then he reads it, and then he gives it back to her, and she signs it. And then she gives it back to him. And you can't, no, you weren't going to rush them. You weren't going to bully them. It's just sit back and relax and have that next two waiting for them.
That's it. And I showed you how to do the handed.
Yeah, I was okay with that. I wasn't as smooth as you were. I'm not fanning out 3 or 4 documents like bam, here you go, like we're at the game table in Vegas. But I was able to do maybe a couple of them at a time. Yeah. So yeah. So now, I hope Veronica is listening. Go ahead and pull the trigger, baby. It's not that bad as I hyped it up to be. And you gonna get more comfortable with experience. And it would have been nice to get my docs ahead of time so I could put all those beautiful flags that that you showed us about, and that would have been lovely. But it didn't work out that way.
But you knew what to do when it came to the notarial section.
Yeah.
And that's the key. That's what look, because from there, you can market yourself anyway. Because see, right now, doing 1 or 2 signings, that gives you, when you notarize stuff correctly, did your part correctly, that gives you confidence to market yourself. You can market yourself, and it puts you in a position to be with companies who will pay you. Because, I mean, let's just be real. Some people, it's like, okay, well, if I know I can get over on this person, if I know I got a notary that's I can go back 3-4 times and don't have to pay them no extra money. Okay, because some people, that's their business model. They don't care. Because as long as they get their money and they'll sit there where each time you make a mistake, that's $10 off. And you made 3 mistakes, and then they sort of made money back because they didn't have to pay you. And then the $15 that they owe you after you done lost money, they still taking 2 months, 5 months to pay you. You see what I'm saying? So as you do better, you will get better quality clients. It's just that simple. And just like there are better quality notaries out there, there are better quality signing companies. And again, I know some signing companies right now got their little black marker out and probably lining my name out like, we don't mess with girl. Look, y'all do you. Everybody is responsible for running their business correctly and doing things right. Okay, from the beginning to the end, and that includes our finances. So that's why I said, when you having a problem trying to get payment from somebody, communicate them through via text, via email. Okay, screenshot whatever you need to do, because if they come back and say, well, we didn't say such and such, or you leave a voicemail, and again, we didn't get that voicemail, so you have to, not saying you can't call them, but you're going to have to use the other methods. So why somebody won't pay you on time, sometimes that's a personal decision that they're making. As Shannon said, that could be somebody from a higher up saying don't pay because they know they don't have the money. That could be that. It could be the person that's just how they are, you know. And you have all of these factors. And here's the part that's heartbreaking. Most notaries out here, they're like, we shouldn't be treating each other this way. I'm a professional business owner. You're professional. Everybody should be doing things professionally. So as a notary, the last person in the process, we expect the signing companies and everybody above them to do us right. But they don't always do us right for whatever reason. And that goes into how they view you. If they view you as somebody who's not important, somebody who's not valuable in the whole scheme of things, they treat you any old kind of way. Same thing at a W-2. And then you keep in mind, you're doing what? You're working with a person who owns a company that's like a W-2. And if that's how they view independent contractors, then this is what you're dealing with. And to me, the best way to get out of this scenario is to do great work as a notary so that other companies will see that and will call on you and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to use this person because they seem to know what they're doing. That's the key. And that's what the whole that's what the notary success system is all about. Is getting you in a position that companies will say, you know what? We need Tina. We need Shantae. Because we know they know what they're doing. You know, we know they know what they're doing and they're doing it. And the signing company and all of them, they don't really know what you went through. They don't know and they don't care.
Right.
But what they want to care about is, did she notarize those documents? Did she get them to sign everything? Yes, I did. Did you notarize correctly? Yes, I did. Here's your paycheck. Thank you very much. Here's the next order. That's the cycle. All of this worrying about how many people you're going to market to, how many Google business pages, all of that will come in time, but it can go away real quickly if you don't show that you know what you're doing as a notary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So here it is, Friday. So when did you do that closing?
Yesterday.
Oh, I thought you had did it Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. Yeah,
Wednesday.
I was wrong about Tuesday. It was Wednesday, and Wednesday. Today is the actual closing where they
on the other side.
The seller closes on the house in Maryland today. Yeah.
So you haven't heard anything back from them, which tells me is that you did the stuff right. Yeah. You did it right because nobody is sitting there calling you up saying, hey, hey, go back and get this signed. Hey, go back and get this stamp or any of that. You accomplished that. Well, I guess I can shut down the Notary Success System because Tina did her thing and we good to go, y'all.
No point.
So hey, y'all, no more training. It's her fault.
It was two seller packets that you had me do a mock signing for, and one of them was almost identical to the one that I had Wednesday. Like I said, the only difference was the state. That was really it. That was really the only difference, and so it prepared me, and then. So if there is anyone who's taken it and you still haven't pulled the trigger on signing up with companies and going out there, there's no need to hesitate. And if anyone's thinking about taking the Notary Success class, go ahead and do it. I mean, I felt confident when I left Virginia Beach. But I felt even more confident when I left that signing.
Yeah.
You know. So no, it's no need. Don't close down the program.
I
just wanted to give a I guess you would say a testimonial after using And I actually had in my front seat of my car um the document, like the training document, and I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at it before I went in the house, because remember I had to sign off on it
Yeah.
and everything, making sure I didn't miss anything. It was like I said, it was all, if it wasn't identical, it was very close to being identical.
Yeah. And a
So
lot of them, yeah. And you'll see some of the same stuff over and over.
mhm,
It's just the venue changes
mhm,
and the people who you're dealing with. So
yeah,
that's excellent. Well, I
yeah,
appreciate you
yes.
hopping on and
I
telling
had to I
everybody.
had to hop on and let you know that it went well after I did a SOS call to you, because they sent me the documents like 30 minutes or so before the signing. I had a quick panic moment. But after that, give the document what it's asking for. Hey, that's that's the training. Give the document what it's asking for,
And deal with who's in front of you.
and deal with who's in front of you. That's right.
That's the
That's
key.
right.
That's the
That's the,
key.
that's the key.
Yeah.
All
Well, I
right.
appreciate that. Well,
No,
I'm gonna
no
go on and hop
problem.
off of here. I'm gonna go back and help the wife get her stuff done, clean up and everything. But I know some of y'all probably say, well, man, I thought you were gonna tell me how to get my money. No, you have to understand, why aren't you getting your money? You're not getting your money because somebody is not handling their pay right. And it could be at the signing company level, or it could be all the way back at the lender. It could be because you didn't do the closing correctly and they had to go get somebody else to go fix it. All of these are factors. So the main thing is, you got to do your part right. What am I doing that could cause this as a problem? Don't do those things that could cause it to be a problem. From that point, if they're not paying you, communicate properly. Like, one of the things I had to learn to do, and I learned from Bill Soroka, is if they ask you for an invoice, send your invoice out. That's what I had to learn to do. And that's what I'm gonna be doing this weekend. I forgot to put on my calendar, send the invoice. I put it on there, so I'll be sending that out. So I got 2 invoices to send out. Even recently, I forgot to send an invoice and somebody had to remind me. So part of me not getting paid from that company was because I hadn't sent the invoice out. Now I got to go check to make sure I got paid and all of that. I think I did. But that's what you have to do. You can't control whether or not they're going to pay you, but you can change the scenario by doing great work as a notary and getting yourself out there with companies who will pay you. I wish I could remember the name. There was a company, there's a lady, she started a website, a group where they talk about companies that don't pay. And sometimes you're not getting paid, you might have to just move on from them. But I hope those companies get their finances together. I've been hearing about more and more of the signing companies are falling apart, not getting paid. Oh, here's another reason why you might not be getting paid, because if other notaries are constantly making mistakes and making it hard for that signing company might be paying so much extra out of pocket to get errors corrected that they don't have money to pay you. That's the AB signing company. I'm just making up a name. Hired 5 notaries, and all 5 of them jack the documents up, won't go back and do them. They got to pay extra to get the signing company got to pay extra to get somebody to do them, fix them. And then here you come along, you do everything right, but when it comes time to paying you, they light on cash because they had to pay out so much extra to these other notaries. And they're hoping to get some money over here so they can pay you. So now they're in that robbing Peter to pay Paul, because they had to pay out an extra $115 to get a closing corrected that the notary who they paid $125 to jacked up. That kind of stuff actually does happen and stuff. So, oh goodness. All right. Hide you from the channel. Hide you from the channel. I don't know why people want to mess with my channel with all of this here stuff. And I gotta check with YouTube because YouTube. I don't know if they changing their spam blocking things or what, and all of that. But if y'all a mod, got the little anchor thing, y'all see people like that, go ahead on and hide them from the channel forever and stuff. All right, party people, I'm going to get on up out of here. And block that one. All right, cool. So they're all blocked. Okay. All right, we good to go. Let me see. Okay. All right, I'm out. Let me go back and yep, foolishness. Let me go help my wife out, get her all straight. Again, I know this probably wasn't the way y'all wanted it. Like, oh, you're gonna tell me how to make them pay me. I can't tell you how to make them pay you. They the ones that hold the purse. They really holds the purse. I mean, gosh, they really do hold the purse, but hopefully things will get better. And with this real estate market flip-flopping back and forth, we as notaries got to be even more cautious when people call us and ask us to do work for them to make sure they're going to pay us. We really do. We got to check them out and everything. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Go get me some more of that chili. That chili was good. Y'all have a good one. Peace.